Oh, can't turn around. We've come this far by faith. Come this far by faith. Leaning on the Lord. Oh, we're trusting in His holy word. He's never failed me yet. And no, can't turn around. We've come this far by faith. Just the other day, I heard a man say he didn't believe in God's word. And I can truly say that God has made a way, and He's never failed me yet. We've come this far by faith, leaning on the Lord, trusting in His holy word. He's never failed me yet. Oh, can't turn around. We've come this far by faith.
Amen. Amen.
Beautiful. I want to introduce to you this legend, this icon I heard about on social media. Chris is somebody that I've been wanting to hear for a very long time. He's been performing in places like Los Angeles, universities, you name it, he's been there. And you know, he's somebody we want to listen to. He's somebody that shows us the other side to the black man. He's beautiful, he's talented, he's strong, and I'm honored to call him a friend. Thank you for being here. Chris Styles, everyone.
Thanks, Nathaniel. How y'all doing this morning?
Good. Good.
God is great.
Amen. All the time.
All right, so I'm gonna do a couple pieces. One piece is called Pink, White, and Blue. It's about 2020 and just all the crap that was going on at the time. The state of the nation and COVID-19, my own COVID experience. So yeah, hope you enjoy. God awaited for the day I showed up on their footstep, empty-headed to present their face. Pink, white, blue. Job once said, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall return. Adjourn under the same roof, written house maintained with black bodies used as the foundation to place a wooden table. Where Lana Del Rey attempts to sing the same octave as Hughes, we as black people can never stop running in Aubrey's shoes above underground. The earth wades. As Mother Water breaks levees with every lead drawn out the chamber, secrets flag kneel on curves mirroring Edward Norton as Derek Chauvin or Vineyard see. American history repeats. Present day is like 1918 meets 81 colliding with 92. A new celebrity in chief against blacks die on camera with nothing to prosecute in this realm but our past. Fabricated in spangled banners carried by military death coach chancing bullets. Retrieving Uncle Sam's debt. Greed was the engine looting black bodies for profit. Skinning us for the design of their wallets. Raping and killing our fathers so I could give a damn about Target. I could give a damn about Amazon. I could give a damn about Walmart. I could give a damn about your gentrified coffee shop. I got beef with your local police department. You said fuck the police, that's a trend, and I actually lived it. Holding my father at gunpoint, making my mother watch while I was walking home. They attempt to put cocaine in me and my brother's pockets. It's America that taught me how to kill when disrespected, and it's America that taught me how to lie, cheat, and steal by any means, then create the facade that somehow mountains are being moved by being a damn patriot. Over 500,000 dead, and we still dying out the point of it all like a bad Disney Channel special. I'm truly at a loss for words. 6 feet apart, 3 people to every other row, only 30 people allowed in total at my brother's funeral. Agreed to my anxiety to believe that death lingers around every corner, literally living down the street where 18-year-old Andreas Guardado was gunned down by deputies. I found peace in my negative energies, eventually catching COVID, coughing up blood on my toilet, going to the ER, unable to focus with extreme fatigue and internal bleeding for the first 7 hours, getting punctured repeatedly till 2 in the morning. Collapsed in the middle of the floor, rushed to the ICU. Doctors offered shock therapy in case my heart stops beating. We're learning how to breathe as I watch Breonna Taylor's killers walk free. Again, I feel weak. Strapped to the bed, unable to move. After I poop, black liquid would come out and nurses would have to wipe me down. Served the same red Jell-O and ice chips for 3 meals a day. Watching The Price is Right, Young and the Restless, and more protests. As doctors struggle to get more blood out of me, my heart rate is over 200. Thinking about my cousins, thinking of the pain of a black father struggling with the thoughts of burying his son, and the pain of a black mother unable to shield her child, thinking that somehow I may have deserved this. I can't breathe. Nailed to the fingers that's gripping my body, silent shrouds over me, seeing only pink, white, blue, God. Thank you. I want to share a quick story. So, I'm from South Central Los Angeles, and I was inside majority of the time during COVID and whatnot, trying to follow protocols. And also, I'm just scared to go outside because my block, there's been police killings of young unarmed black men, never make it to the news. And last summer, my cousin was helping his friend move with a U-Haul truck, and the police got a call saying, hey, we got reports of a stolen U-Haul truck and whatnot. They pulled them over, and my cousin was like, hey, we have the papers to prove that we didn't steal it, like the registration and everything is right here. They wasn't trying to hear that and threw him in jail overnight during the pandemic. And that just kind of just made my blood boil, and knowing the history of brutality against my family from the Torrance Police Department, from the LAPD. My father was beaten, and my cousins was beaten, and I was followed home multiple times as a young kid at 17 years old. So I just want to thank everybody that's here, that's standing with us and standing in solidarity. But anyways, here's my last piece. It's called Reach, and it's about, again, police brutality. So, I left my home this morning with the intent of returning. Bullet preachings turn blue lie sermons as heard on CNN television. Body cameras document the singing of innocent hearses. All pitch this continuous battle between cursed skin and residual hauntings proves that Jesus hasn't walked with us on this land of burnt crosses. We worship false prophets where founding fathers left us with no options. Only flaming hot and cheese, Reese's and Coca-Cola from the corner store where rivers of liquor flow for dead souls ignored by minimum wages. We don't choose to be complacent as a result of gentrification, fear and angst towards white faces while pupils dilate to the bluest eye because standing up for your rights isn't worth dying. Right? Thank you.
Woo.
Can we give it up for him again? That was, wow. I can't do that. I can't. That's talent. I want to say that Pastor Angel Rivero is here. I want him to bless us at the end because we're going to be marching. And look, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but I do believe there is a higher power bigger than me. And I'm always asking God to look down upon all my friends, family, strangers, colleagues, allies, BIPOC, people of color, people in the LGBTQ community. And it doesn't matter if you're a monk, if you're a pastor in the Baptist, Catholic, Methodist, if you're a Muslim, if you're going to pray for me, I appreciate it. So I'm gonna leave Pastor Angel. He's my weapon. He's my secret weapon because he's my spiritual guide right now. I'm gonna leave you at the end because we're about to march in those streets later. And even though these cops say they're on our side today, I don't want anything to change that. All right. Is there anybody that would like to it's open mic. If you want to say something that's from the heart, this is the time to do it. You got people here. You got our phones. This iPhone that caught George Floyd and Deontay Wright and Adam Toledo, Breonna Taylor, all the people that have died on camera. If we didn't see it, you know how human beings are, they're visual. So if you have something to say, your words are powerful. Your words mean something, they matter. So feel free to just walk up here, introduce yourself, and speak. I really would like to hear you, even if you're not the best speaker, just come from the heart. I just want to hear you. Doesn't matter who you are. If you're one of those people that say, "Oh, I want to hear more black voices," sometimes we need allies to speak too when our black voices aren't present. So I truly appreciate it. If anybody wants to come up here and speak, feel free to. Hector Marina, everyone. Santa Cruz NAACP, and you can introduce yourself and tell them all about you. Thank you, Hector.
Yeah, I want to start off just by thanking Nathaniel for organizing. Can y'all hear me, by the way? Yeah. Yeah, how's everyone doing? Everyone good? Yeah. Especially, definitely, shouts out to y'all for just coming out together and being in community to support this great, organizing and this great event that Nathaniel, our brother Nathaniel, has put on. So definitely props and shouts out to Nathaniel, to all y'all for coming out, Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah. All right, sure. But yeah, I just want to start off by saying that, most of these police brutalities, especially the systemic oppression that's going on right now, it's no news right now, of what's going on. And even it's been going on for far too long in our community, right? And we've been consistent in organizing consistently throughout. And similarly, how it's going on, all the way out in Minneapolis, it's similarly going on in here in the Bay, in Monterey. Similarly in the Bay Area. With me, I'm from Santa Cruz myself, and there's so much police brutality is going on, right? So when it comes to that in itself, the police can tell us that they're on our side for today, right? But in the long term, if you look at their policies and their politics in particular, they are not on our side at all whatsoever, right? And ever since George Floyd occurred, there's been no change at all, right? With me as a member of the UCSC and NAACP, and with me personally being involved within my activism, I've seen how the police has not only targeted the BIPOC community, the Black, Indigenous, and POC community at the same time, but they've also targeted the houses community. There's been an ordinance recently that it's called the Temporary Outside Living Ordinance, where they criminalized houses folks for simply putting out a tent and putting out their camps so they can rest over there and so they can have somewhere to sleep and so they can have food and shelter for themselves to provide that's away from the state, that's not giving them none of that help. And then the state comes in, passes the Temporary Outside Living Ordinance, which bans all that and seeks the police to give and to harass these houses folks without giving them alternate supports, right? So we gotta remind ourselves of the intersectionality of what's going on right now. And with all this news going on, we have to emphasize how there has to be solidarity between class, between race, and between gender as well. Our trans folks, there's still a genocide going on, against our trans folks to this day, right to this day. I believe 2020 has been the greatest year where there's been much more killings against trans folks. That's the definition of genocide, literally. Same thing with indigenous folks of what's going on internationally, right? With the Amazonian rivers of indigenous folks being marginalized and being much more, disrespected of their own lands, right? We have to, back in Santa Cruz, we call it Santa Cruz, but really it's the Amamutsin tribal band's land. you know? And we have to respect that land at the same time and also amplify the voices of indigenous folks and enhance that intersectionality. So, I mean, I say all this to sort of say how we have to focus in organizing ourselves and to amplify our own power, because only we got the people power to actually invoke all this change. Just because you got a title, I mean, if you're a mayor, if you're a city council member and you're a board of county of supervisors, I give all props and respects to you, right? But that's not where power lies, because that's just an office. Power lies within us as people, for us to hold them accountable similarly of all these oppressions of what's been going on for far too long. Affordable housing, economic development, why aren't resources being provided there so our BIPOC and our houseless communities can be much more supported in that same stance, right? We all have to be in solidarity in that same aspect. And when the youth comes up to organize and engage, you know, such as the great works of like Nathaniel and all that, we gotta amplify their voices too and not look down on them and put them in a box, right? Because that's where the revolution and that's where the evolution of social change really comes from, in the youth, right? So I just wanted to say all that to sort of say that we gotta organize together, we gotta mobilize, we gotta enhance solidarity from all avenues across California, and not only think of ourselves as local city organizers or local state organizers, that's California or America first, but also at an international scale to enhance that organic solidarity, right? So I just want to say all that. Thank y'all so much. Shouts out to Nathaniel, to all y'all for coming out, you know, and definitely much love, y'all. Thank you.
All right, we're about to start marching in a minute. I want to say some thank yous to some people and some organizations. I think, Esther, you're part of the Democratic Women's Club. Or what kind?
Women's March.
Wait, help me out here now. You got too many hats. Went to Women's March. I want to say thank you to Agents of Change, Nick, my brother Nick over here. I want to say thank you to Community Before Cops. I mean, I look at River as a founder of Community Before Cops, really. I remember when months or almost a year ago now, when she called me up and she was just passionate about starting an organization to fight against all this systemic racism that she's been seeing. And she's a teacher, an educator. I mean, Reverend, come over here and talk a little bit. I'm gonna have Nick talk. Nick, I'm gonna call you out. Don't worry. Professor Kent Glenzer, you're gonna be talking over here too, so get ready.
Hey, thank you, Nate. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I'll keep it brief, but hey, folks, my name is River. And yeah, as Nathaniel was talking about with Community Before Cops is kind of an idea, and it specifically is rooted in the way that our local money, our local budgets are allocated in these public systems that we actually, as a people, what was your name? I'm sorry. Hector, as Hector was saying, like, the power lies with the people, right? The power of the people is stronger than the people in power, but we're only as strong as our networks with each other. We're only as strong as our connections to each other, and that idea is community, right? And if we can actually take our public money, it is, the tax dollars is our money, right? It's not coming from anyone else. It's the money we are putting into this system and the money that we're getting back from it. And if we do provide those things like affordable housing, if we do provide the resources that people need to come out of poverty, to come out of addiction, and just to come out of these systems of criminalization that are so woven into the fabric of our government, our laws, all that. And where does the power that is those systems has come from? It's from the money that we put into these systems of criminalization, and this includes child protective services in a lot of ways, and the foster system. This includes the school to prison pipelines and the way that school resource officers are placed onto campuses. And in my own experience, I've seen the way that these officers mishandle all sorts of situations where police should not be at all, including in students who have sexual harassers on campus. They send the police in to do some sort of conflict resolution between a person and their abuser. This is one example of so many, but that I've seen personally. And so how do we allocate our public money, and what does the defund the police and also ultimately abolition of these criminal justice systems. I like to actually call them systems of criminalization whenever possible, because I don't think that justice is in there. I think justice is resources for people to come out of poverty, resources for disabled people, resources for trans people, resources for Black, brown, indigenous, immigrants, whether people are documented or not, all of these things, and then of course resources for our unhoused people who are living all across the county. And you know, if you want to talk more, like my door is open. Hit me up in the Instagram DMs, or just come and talk to me, because like I was saying, is the bonds between our communities really is what's going to make us strong and powerful. So please do take time today to introduce yourself to someone that you've never met, especially if that person doesn't look like you, and you know, introduce yourself, share your experiences, and listen to those of others. These conversations may not seem like they go anywhere right now, but maybe next week the two of you will call up and have coffee and start something else that's not Community Before Cops, that's not Agents of Change, that's something completely different. And so while Community Before Cops kind of focuses on local policy to what extent we can't wait and rely on the state, and by the state I mean all forms of government, from the city government to even the school board, to the national, federal government. We can't rely on the state to fix our problems, and certainly us out here protesting is important, but they're not waiting to have their minds and hearts changed. That's not the way that our government institutions work. It's through pressure. But that's not the only way that we can be making an active difference. So I want to invite Nick, if that's okay. Can I bring Nick right up to talk about mutual aid and the way that through solidarity and actual joining of pooling our resources to uplift the most marginalized in our communities, we can create a community where everyone is taken care of, where everyone takes care of each other, and where actually charity becomes obsolete. So I'm going to bring up Nick Moosney, good friend, and please welcome him.
Yes, thank you, River, and thank you, everybody. River has been just amazing, and so I appreciate all your work, and Nathaniel and everybody here. And I want to amplify, what River was saying is the idea that really the power is right here with the people. River shared a quote with us yesterday from a podcast that we both listened to called Mutual Aid Lockdown. And it goes something like, we move at the speed of trust. So really, I want us to think beyond defunding the police. How do we radicalize each other, the bounds of our imagination to think no state institution will save us. Honestly, they don't give a shit about us. They don't give a shit about our communities, and pardon my language. But we've done everything right. We've protested, we've been to city council meetings, we met behind closed doors, and every time they're trying to co-opt our movement and pacify us with these incremental reforms and concessions that bring no material change to our communities. Absolutely none. In fact, it harms our movement. So really we have to think outside the bounds of these institutions, right? And how do we create our own systems to make these systems obsolete? And that's the spirit of mutual aid. And the way that I think about it is, how do we start that? It's really thinking about basic needs. And there's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's a pyramid, right? It's like housing, food, shelter, clothing, right? Sense of safety, belonging, love, intellectual engagement, and self-determination, right, at the top. So if we think about these, the Black community has been the most excluded from housing. Think about Black mothers. Think about, the medical system and how, 1 in 3 women Black women who are pregnant die. This is a crazy statistic, right? These systems won't save us again, so we have to create our own, right? One that is led by the voices and the needs of the people. So we have to continually engage with our communities in order to understand what those needs are and shape these systems and shape these programs based on those needs and what we hear from the people, right? So this is the idea of what I call, what we now calls the mass line, right? Is you have a vanguard party. If we build structures and organizations, right, we're always staying connected to the masses, and we never stray from their messaging and from their needs. And so, I live in Oakland, or I used to live in Oakland. I'm born and raised in Salinas, and housing is just a really a crucial issue for me, for everybody, and I think particularly in the Black and BIPOC community. We think about Oakland, 10 years ago used to be about 40-50% Black. Now it's 25% Black, and even though the houseless community now, there's 75% Black. So it's this idea, like, these neoliberal reforms like mixed income housing, right? Giving folks vouchers. And so they move out of the city, pay rent somewhere else, and then they create this mixed income housing with not enough Section 8 properties in order for them to return. So we got to talk about the right to return, right? But really, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. We have to keep fighting and pushing the needle in these meetings, right? And we also, as River was saying, it's an and, it's not either or, it's not but, it's and we have to create our own systems, right? How do we occupy the land, take over these abandoned buildings, whatever it is? Moms for Housing in Oakland did this, and really demand that a right to stay. There's a stolen land, so why the hell can't we be here? It's like. So these are the things that we need to think about, more radical action, and it comes from, as we said, trust building with the community, and really, the most basic need is food and immediate a way of showing love and help to people, and that's the program that we're trying to start. Is we've done a lot of hot meal distributions, and we're kind of moving away from that and looking towards brown bag delivery and building outdoor kitchens for folks, camping stoves and things like that. And from there, it's political education, passing out zines, radical literature, having these dialogues with the community who are most impacted by the system in order to build that class consciousness, mobilize folks, and create these communities in which we could really build a sustainable movement. These are big ideas, but it's really, it's building up from that pyramid, right? Once we get food, once we get a right to stay somewhere, right? Then we could, talk about raising our class consciousness, or as we do that, raise our class consciousness. And then really, we'll have self-determination over our own communities. Patrol, we talk about, alternatives to 911, having a warm line for our communities that people could call, with critical, with mental health responders or whoever, just a helping hand that could come, that's not the police. And, programs like, so that way our police aren't invited in our neighborhoods in the first place, and then we can expand our networks to patrol our neighborhoods when they come in uninvited. So, these are types of things that we need to build, because like River was saying, we can't wait for the state to do this. They're not going to do this, until we have that massive revolution, and really upend, the whole system, because it's grounded and, racism, cis heteropatriarchy, classism, all these things are just embedded in everything. And anytime we elect a progressive, they just turn their backs on us. Anytime we go into a city council meeting, meet with a city manager, they ignore us. So, until we have that time where we could really upend the system, we have to create our own system. So that's really the spirit of mutual aid and what I encourage you all to do. I'm always down to talk about this. It's something I'm very passionate about. So thank you.
Wow, we've had some amazing, powerful speakers, and I want to thank Nick, River, and all these speakers that have spoken so far. Thank you for the work you've been doing. I think you deserve your roses now and not when you're dead. We sometimes like to celebrate people when they're gone, but thank you for what you're doing now.
You too. You too.
We only have a few more speakers left. I'm the type of person, I'm a policy advocacy specialist. One of the people that helped me become one, he doesn't like to take credit, but he is a professor at Middlebury Institute, and I take wisdom from people like him, Kent Glenzer. I'm going to call him up in a minute because he's fighting for a living wage nationally. And I'm one of those people that I may say Black Lives Matter. We need to be fighting for I'm core fighting for my African American community, but I'm also like MLK. I'm fighting for everyone. What helps us helps everyone else out.
And I realized that, and I don't just march and protest. I talk in city councils. A matter of fact, Marina City Council right now, the reason that the mayor and the people like that aren't here is because they're drafting a document to create an anti-hate ordinance for the city of Marina. So what you guys are about to do, march in the streets, will actually make a difference soon. Where if someone calls somebody a racial slur or treats somebody different in employment, or law enforcement pull someone over the road that doesn't deserve it, they will get fined. You know, there will be something that happens in the city of Marina. That's an example. That's what River's talking about, fighting in the system. But you know me, I love causing a little good trouble, as John Lewis would say, and I like shutting down the city to show people we're serious, and they're going to listen to us today. And so I have a few more speakers, just a few more. I want to introduce first this powerful black man. His mom she isn't going to talk today because the NAACP has rules. They have a communications line and all this other stuff. But Victoria is here from the NAACP, and she does many other things. I want to give her roses while she's here. We also have, after my powerful friend introduces himself, Alicia Metters is here from SEIU, Services Employees International Union. She's the Region 2 Vice President. She's going to be talking next. After Alicia, we're going to have Kent Glenser speak a little bit. He doesn't have to speak long. I know he's a man of few words and a lot of action, but I want to let him speak a little bit. After Kent, we are going to have Carlton lead us out with the Black Anthem. Is that what you're going to do? The Black Anthem. And after that, we're going to have Pastor Rivera. Oh, no, we have someone from Minneapolis is here. She lives here now, but she actually was there close by when George Floyd had died, and she has some words that she wants to speak today. So she will go after whoever else I just mentioned. It's what happens when you're just the guy that has to do all this. But Pastor Rivera, we're coming to you soon. Don't worry. All right, go ahead, bro.
How's it going, guys? My name's Griffin. Bear with me. I'm gonna read some stuff off the paper, and hopefully you guys can resonate to it. Stop. Stop killing us. Stop racial profiling. Stop doing everything you're doing to repress my people. We are human. We have a free will. As a matter of fact, everyone has a free will, not just my people. You have the free will just to stop killing us. We are done dying. We will not stop until you stop, until everything stops. We are not like your grandfathers. I am not like my great-grandfathers, and neither are you guys. Revolution we are starting will not stop until you heal us and not kill us. Let those words resonate to you and how you take them. Let them never leave your mind, your heart, and your spirit, because in reality, we all need healing. This whole pandemic itself, the whole year and a half, was very, very traumatizing to a lot of us. Also myself, I had to be away from my family. Not only did I have to be with my family, I had to know what it was like to not be able to raise my brother who had just beat cancer. So I had to let my mom, who's a strong individual, being a black woman of black color, etc., having to raise that family and having her own. I do love and respect you for that, Mom, for holding that down when I wasn't there. We all know the real truth. More connects us than separates us. Every ounce of blood you have in our veins is the same color no matter what. The reason why you share and you get to finish everyone's sentences that you think of when they come to mind is because you're more connected than what you think. Mentally, spiritually, you are all one. That's the only reason why you're able to feel so sympathetic to what you feel right now. Not only regardless of what skin you have on, whatever was placed on your back, whatever religion, whatever, etc. that came to your mind from your parents, what they taught you down the line. Yes, some teachings were wrong, but what matters is what you do to change that teaching going forward. We all know the truth. Wise of the times of the crisis. Wise build bridges, while the foolish build barriers. Again, the wise build bridges, while the foolish build barriers. We must find a way to look after another as if we were one single tribe. And those words from the wise words of King T'Challa. And that's why for the Black Panther itself, I like to hold those words accountable to myself, because he not only did he fight for himself and what he believed in, not only did his own people thought that they had to sit to their own people, only help their own people, there was more of a bigger idea than that. It was more of the community, it was more of the world that they actually had to take upon in their hands, that they had to help. It wasn't just black lives, it was my Latino brothers, my sisters, everything, Asian, etc., what you identify as, no matter sex, gender, no matter what. It does not matter. And not only from my personal experiences, the other day I was in Salinas. I just got sushi with my best friend, headed to the gym, trying to live my best life, trying to live an active lifestyle. Mid-afternoon, got pulled over, and they said it was for a traffic stop for my rear light being out. Ended up not being let out. He didn't provide no information of why it was out. He didn't even give a picture, take it for me, to show me without even exiting my vehicle, for my safety at least. And then second of all, they pulled their guns out on us because he felt that I had a weapon in the vehicle, right? So in my vehicle, I drive a Dodge Charger, no tent, no nothing. It's mid-afternoon around 4 p.m. going to the gym in the south side of Salinas. For what reason other than that you believe that you had to stop and pull a weapon on two young brothers? And being advised, my friend was a Hispanic brother, so other than seeing two minorities, what was the reason of the dog? And especially if there was light out, for no reason for my lights to be on. So secondly, what can you come back from that? What are your words that you're going to convince me of to tell me that it wasn't because of my color? And secondly, for the things that have been going on since the George Floyd, my condolences to that, respectfully. Since then, what gives you the right for me not to put that on you? Just because you wear a badge doesn't mean that people have proven point blank that they can swear on the Bible, on God, and to their own people that respect them every day that they get up. And they still do that with that badge, that arm that they wear on there. What do you have to be so scared of that you have to have a utility belt where you have the highest part of power, where at least you can go out actively? You should be able to know that nothing is going to happen to you because you have that sense of power, that badge, that utility belt. So if you got to go and still feel scared, something's wrong with you mentally. You got that is your safety unit. Other than it should be the badge is your safety unit, not the gun. It should be the badge. Because when I wake up, I don't even want to respect the officers just for that. And as a young person, I was, I could be a person in blue if I really wanted to. I don't want to incriminate my brothers or any of my sisters. I'd rather teach them a lesson, and you know what? Hopefully they can go home one day of that matter and be like, damn, like, this dude gave me a break. You know what I mean? He didn't give me a ticket. He gave me a break. He told me about something he related on a personal level and let me go, right? But so forth, that wasn't the case. And a matter of fact, if an individual were to go that route and actually took the moment to assess the situation, it wouldn't have mattered. So from that cop pulling me over, he believed I had a weapon in my car. Why, as someone my age, I'm 23, and I'm headed to the gym, why would I conceal a weapon in a car with no tent? Why would I set myself up for that matter? If I'm going to own such of a thing, I would want my privacy in my vehicle for that matter, most definite. It's just something that's just more common sense of a thing. And secondly, why would I even allow that officer to give that motion to come up to me to my window as I'm giving that information, to even think that I have a gun? Or why would I even give him the option to even arrest me if I had the option of having it on me? If that was the case, there would be no hesitation if I was really about that life, but I wasn't. And my main point is that when they pulled the gun on me, I was so scared because everything that went through my head was, one, I almost lost my friend. I thought my friend was going to get shot in my face. And then the supervising officer, when I was reading him my rights, he knew what I was talking about, and he was offended about what I was talking about, because as a young adult, no grown man wants to hear something from a child or a young other man. It's just common sense, that selfish pride factor. We never want to hear it. Same thing for older women. You never want to be put in place from an older man. It's just that standpoint you got to let down as a standard, right? It goes both ways, from a child to a grown adult. But if a grown adult were to come up to that cop and you were to pull over and they would talk about that, it'd be on a whole different scale, because it's a man-to-man situation, a woman-to-man situation, a woman-to-woman. You see where that comes? So they feel it as a level of disrespect when I have to come talk to them, or when I'm telling them my rights and they think that I'm coming at them aggressive. And it's like, no, you need to assess that situation right. And not only did he get upset, the person that told him to exit the vehicle, that believed I had a gun underneath my car, I told him that if he opened the door, I gave him permission to open it, and if he pulled my hand out, he would see my phone would be in my hand. And I guaranteed and promised, I told him to his face, I'll give me the benefit of the doubt, as of right on the situation, if you open this door, that there will not be a gun. How many gunfights have you been in to even experience that? And then right when he opened the door, my phone fell out. So for them pulling a gun on me for a traffic light, for something of that matter, and they thought I had a weapon, and they draw their gun on my friend, honestly thought my friend was gonna get shot because everything happened so fast. Honestly thought that was gonna be my last moment where my mom was never gonna see me again, or I'm probably never gonna ever see my brother. I had to worry about the whole year itself, me being away from him, and that say, like, if I would have never came back in that point in time, that would have been his last moments of ever fucking seeing me. Excuse my language, but that would have been how it was. So I had to take that on in. The arresting officer itself was someone I went to high school with. Not the supervising officer, but the arresting officer. He tried to pull me out, and I told him and looked him in his eyes, do you know what has been going on recently? Do you know what all these people that have been dying? Like, are you really trying to rip me out of this vehicle and you already see my phone out of my hand? There's nothing in iView that possesses a threat. Nothing of a matter of a threat. And I told him, like, back-to-back 4 times, because he asked me, how many times did I ask you to get out of the car? And I said 4, because that's how many times I told you, do you know what is going on in this world? And as he ripped me out, my friend was recording. They arrested me. They made me do a drug test because they felt that I was under the influence of some sort. So they thought that I was being hostile. And I looked in the kid's eyes because it was someone I went to high school with. And I honestly was hoping deep down in my heart, like recognize me, bro. And I know he did. And I've spoken to him. So it's more the fact that it could be in your own community of people that you look dead in your eyes, that you think are on your side, but they aren't on your side. So I said that respectfully, is that you need to open up your eyes and look at the people in your family, check those people, check yourself. You need to check the individuals around that you keep close to, because that stuff matters. You need to evaluate everything around you, how you move forward, because don't let this year alone not teach you anything at all. Every little detail that throws you off, that triggers you in any form of racial, sexual, gender, etc., you need to hop on that. You need to capitalize real quick. That stuff does not matter. You need to let them know. So from that moment, I really hoped that kid, or that officer, if I ever see him again, I hope he realizes that going further, that he learned his lesson for someone I went to school with. And this is someone that I grew up with that had to arrest me and put me in that situation. So imagine someone you went to child, like you're going to school with, that has to pull a gun on you. For someone who's scared, who felt that he was scared. And now I had to live a life as a child thinking that I was his friend, but he was racist to me, or he felt some type of way where he felt that I was a threat to him. Other than an officer and his supervising officer from the side made sure he didn't want to access the situation, so he let them do it for them. And he watched. He watched it because when I was constructing to him, as I was talking to him, being cooperative, he knew that the words coming out my mouth were offending him, just because I knew for his skin, but for him being a Caucasian man, and as an officer, he was in the wrong predicament at the wrong time, messing with the wrong individual who knew what he was talking about. And so at that moment, he did not want to get caught up. That is the reason why he assessed to his 2 younger officers who drawn the weapons on us to arrest myself. I passed the drug test, and then they gave me a ticket, and they basically got me for resisting arrest. And now I'm put in a predicament where I gotta financially pay so much money for back-to-back tickets for being profiled, leaving work, for probably wearing a do-rag. He said that he just saw me leaving work and said I was speeding. Thank God I have physical evidence on a falsified ticket. So that being said, it's just repetitive stuff that I have against the police that just doesn't add up. You know what I mean? For one, not only in Soledad precinct, one here in Salinas. I haven't had so forth in here and in the Monterey, in this area at all. Not yet, and hopefully don't want to experience that. And I not for everyone either. But for instance, let me be the first to say that I've already experienced it in 2 different locations, South County and in the Salinas area. So it's a mutual thing, and this has happened in the last probably 4 to 5 months. Alone, I probably got like 5 tickets, I think maybe 2 I could honestly say myself, yes. And the rest were all wrongfully. 1 being arrested, the speeding ticket that I have proof on, and another one I choose not to say for other stuff. But that being said, I do appreciate you giving me your time and coming out here today, and respectfully for all color. And please, we need to heal and not kill, respectfully. Thank you.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Right. Good morning, Marina, everywhere, Monterey Peninsula. I hate having to have this stick, but I'll try to stick it out like this. My name is Alicia Metters. And my mantra, as you can see, I am a proud member of SEIU, which is a Service Employees Union International. I'm a social worker for Monterey County. I'm a native Californian. I was born in San Francisco. I always say go Niners. I hope that's appropriate. I grew up in the city of Seaside. I was able to go to college in Atlanta, Georgia, to a historically black college, Spelman College. I was able to come back here and graduate actually from Chapman, which is now Grandman University. And this is my home. And one thing that I can truly say is that I have seen things change. And as I'm thinking back now to my childhood, things that happened, and I say, wow, was that for that reason? And I choose to hope in my heart, believe not, because I believe at the root of man, the human race, we are loving, we are full of goodwill, and again, my mantra for SEIU 521 is Si se puede! Si se puede! Because we can change. And it starts with the individual self, and then it spreads out. However, we know that the element of fear can stop us in our tracks. And that is what has historically been done in this country, many others, to keep people oppressed and to keep people afraid of rising to the levels of success that they can. SEIU International stands for dignity and justice for all. We know pre-pandemic, the horrific situations, or actually not pre-pandemic because it was during the pandemic. Now post, and we're not all the way out of it, we found ourselves back in a situation where things had really not changed that much. So again, we have to dig deep. It's one thing I say to myself every day. It's like, yeah, the struggle, the fight, it continues. It does not stop. Because when we fight, and we fight together, we do win. The young man that stated we have much more in common than we are different. We all need to have housing. We all need to have shelter. We all need to have food. We all need to have a safe place for our families to grow, for our children to go to school, to be raised up in communities that respect and support them. And working in family children's services, I always say, I don't like the term foster child. Children are children, and they all deserve love, and they deserve to grow up in supportive environments, and that means the whole community. I am no different from you. I am no different maybe on the outside, but on the inside, we all need the same thing. And I hear what you're saying too. Change doesn't happen at the top because we know stuff exists, because stuff exists at the top and it trickles down. So we have to fight together. My heart bleeds because I was actually in a march to fight for Martin Luther King's birthday to become a national holiday. So you can imagine, I always say I started with the county when I was 5 years old, but everybody else can do the math. And it saddens me. But again, it gives me hope because the fight continues, that we still find ourselves, things we thought that didn't exist still exist. So what I will say again is, si se puede, si se puede, si se puede. We can win this fight, but we have to win together. We have to respect each other as individuals, not judged by what's on the outside. Get to know me. Get to know me. We often say, oh, get to know me. And that is the thing that we can no longer let separate us, is because I look different. It's a beautiful hue. It's a beautiful rainbow. What a sad world this would be if everybody looked like me. Our diversity brings us together. It gives us hope. And again, we will, no matter what, don't let this be the end. Let us continue the good fight. Because we know weapons will form, but they will not prosper. They will not win, because the spirit of the people is what is going to prevail. That's right. Take care, be safe. Si se puede!
Hello. My name's Angie Sunroad, and I spent 40 years of my life in Minneapolis. And I did not come here to use my voice. I came here to amplify voices. But I woke up this morning and grabbed this poster that I got last summer when we went back home and went to a protest. And I looked at all these names and realized we don't even have space on this poster for all of the other people that have been killed since this was printed. And that is not okay. And I sat and I thought about how I used to live 2 blocks from George Floyd Square. My husband went to Brooklyn Center High School. This is my neighborhood. These are my family members. These are people that I know. And yet I know my experience is 1,000% different. I have driven around with broken taillights, with things hanging from my mirror, and I have never been pulled over, and I've never feared for my life. And I'm raising 4 white kids who we talk about privilege and we talk about using your voice and speaking up for others, and they are not afraid to drive around. And that is not okay with me. Because we look one way and other people look another way. They do not deserve to die. They do not deserve to fear things. And I can tell you right now, from my friends back home, there is more police presence in Minneapolis right now than there was at the Capitol riots, and we knew those were coming. That is not what America is about. And I just wanted to say, as much as right now Minneapolis is making an awful name for itself, we moved after Philando Castile was killed and before George Floyd and Dante Wright, and you know there will be more names. I wish I could tell you there wouldn't. I really wish I could stand here and say there will not be any more names. And I hope that there won't. But we need incredible reform, and we need to take away the power that we have given to the police to do whatever they want. That's right. And I want to really speak to the fact, too, that I'm really tired of hearing people say, why did Dante Wright resist? Why did he get into his car? Because he's terrified for his life, because he knows what could happen, and it happened. And so I really want to just send this message to you from Minneapolis. We are not just a city of racist cops. Please know that. We are a city of activists and people with huge, enormous hearts who are hurting and who are trying to make change. And it's awful and it's horrible. And we moved here, and I really want to get involved, and I really want to see some change here, because growing up there, what I saw was activism and social justice and change, and I'm really thrilled to be here and see that that's happening here as well, as I know that it is everywhere. But please know, Minneapolis is not just a city of racist, horrible cops. They're there for sure, but it's also a city of people who want that change and are not going to stop until it happens. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Kent Glenzer. Hey, just to start off, thanks. Want to give gratitude to the Asselin Rumsian complex of Indigenous people upon whose land we're standing. Thank you. Those that can't do teach, that's what you hear, right? Yeah, I'm a professor. I came into this work after 30 years of international advocacy, not domestic, but here I am now. Here's something really interesting. If you look around the educational system here in the United States, did any of you in high school learn how to do advocacy? How to take social action? Anybody take a class in high school? How about undergrad? I would be very surprised if anybody did. Anybody get a degree in advocacy or taking social action? Doubt it. Doubt it. Doesn't happen. It happens a little bit. You're right. You're right. I just want to bring it up because I had a conversation with folks over at CSUMB yesterday I'm at the Middlebury Institute for International Studies in Monterey. And I asked the question to CSUMB, which is well, we know what CSUMB is for, who they serve. And I asked, so do you teach your undergrads, do you teach them how to take social action? Do you teach them how to organize? Do you teach them how to do policy advocacy? Do you have any classes in that? I could be wrong, but the people that I spoke to said, nah, we don't have that. We're going to start doing that here. We are doing it at the Middlebury Institute. The only reason I'm bringing it up is there's a lot of great activists here in this crowd, and I know it. And students at the undergraduate level, students at the graduate level, students at the high school level, we're trying to start incorporating at the high school level. How do you organize and advocate for your rights and for other people's rights? We're going to do a lot more of it in the next few years. And so for you activists out there, you experts out there, the folks that you've largely learned on the job, if I can put it that way, you've learned through action for the most part, I urge you to reach out to me because the students need mentors. They need people who are out there doing the kind of work. And so that's all I wanted to say. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kent. I want to acknowledge that the Police Accountability Watch is here as well. They're a startup, amazing grassroots organization. They've been looking to talk to some community before cars and agents of change folks. So those people, River and Nick, are here for you to talk to. Pastor Angel Rivero, I am so honored for you to be here. I respect you so much. I've seen you at the East Side, the Seaside March, and thank you for blessing us with your presence.
Hello, it's good to be here. I'm Angel Rivero, pastor of the Marina United Methodist Church just around the corner here on Beach Road, and it's so good to be here. So I'm going to use a lot of my Christianese language, so you could translate it as you will. Use the words that are best fit your soul. But for many Christians around the world, this is the season of Easter. It's the time where we remember that Jesus rose from the dead and that there was victory over oppression, victory over death, victory over the empire. And that's what led to this movement that we now call church. And that's what this is. This is, as Jesus rose from the dead, we as people of common good, for the common good, we are going to rise together and say enough is enough. That death has no more part here, that oppression has no part here, and that empire has no part here. And so I want to give thanks to each and every one of you for coming here, for us to be able to say that we will not tolerate hate in our communities, here in Marina and in our larger region. So I just want to say a quick word of prayer to bless us as we go. Like I said, please use the language that's most meaningful for you. Let's pray. Let's just take a deep breath. Holy God, we give you thanks for all those who are gathered here, for the presence of the people gathered in this park. God, during this time of Easter, as we remember that holy, good troublemaker Jesus, who rose from the dead and conquered over the oppressor, God, we ask that we might also rise as a community to create a new way of being, not only for ourselves, but for our whole world. Help us, God, to establish accountability with those who have power, that we might be able to protect those who are most on the margins, and that we would remember that when we lift from the bottom, we all rise. Keep us safe, God. May our witness echo through the city of Marina that enough is enough, and that we want to be proactive. We don't want to respond to bad things happening in Marina. We want to be proactive. Help us, God. Protect us. In your many names. Amen.
Amen and amen.
No cops! No KKK, no fascist USA! No cops! No KKK, no fascist USA! No cops! No KKK, no fascist USA! No cops! No KKK, no No KKK, no fascist USA. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like.
Hold the button.
Si se puede. 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 Black lives matter. 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 Say her name. Breonna Taylor. Say her name. Breonna Taylor. Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd.
I'll tell you, right. Too many to name.
Say her name. Say her name. Whose streets are they? Our streets. 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 No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. Reverend, I see you. Go ahead, go ahead.
I got one for all of us. Here we go. This is how it goes. Take it to the streets, defund the police, no justice, no peace. Everybody.
Take it to the streets, defund the police, no justice, no peace.
Take it to the streets.
Defund the police, no justice, no peace.
Yeah.
Take it to the streets.
Defund the police, no justice, no peace.
Take it to the streets,
Defund the police, no justice, no peace.
One more time. Take it to the streets, defund the police, no justice, no peace.
Take it to the streets. Fund the police.
I'm gonna try one with you. Repeat after me. One, we are the people. Two, wait, one, we are the people.
Two.
No, just go. All right. When I say one, that's just about having fun. We're bonding. Community, baby. All right, when I say one, we are the people. You repeat after me.
You say.
Thing I say. All right, you got it? All right, one, we are the people.
We are the people.
Two, a little bit louder.
A little bit louder.
Three, we want our justice.
We want our justice.
For black people.
For black people.
One, we are the people.
We are the people.
Two, a little bit louder.
A little bit louder.
Three, we want our justice.
We want our justice.
For black people.
For black people.
Get it? All right, here we go. All right, we're gonna go through the neighborhood right here. One, we are the people.
We are the people.
Two, a little bit louder.
A little bit louder.
Three, we want our justice.
We want our justice.
For black people.
For black people.
One, we are the people.
We are the people.
Two, a little bit louder.
A little bit louder.
Three, we want our justice.
We want our justice.
For H-P. I was trying to add that in. Yeah, there we go. I don't have that at all.
Right.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Asian lives matter.
Asian lives matter.
LGBTQ lives matter.
LGBTQ lives matter.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Take it to the streets. Take it to the streets. Take it to the streets.
Defund the police.
Take it to the streets. Take it to the streets. March with us. March with us. March with us, 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 march with us. Good afternoon, Marina. Good afternoon, Marina. It's your friendly neighborhood, Nathaniel Sawyer, here just to say hello. Whose streets are they? Our streets. Whose streets are they? Our streets. Whose streets are they? Our streets. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. No racist. Police. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. No racist. Police. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. I get that. Watch out! Hey! What the fuck, dude? Shit! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police! Say her name! Breonna Taylor! Say her name! Breonna Taylor! A little bit louder so the city hears y'all. Say her name! Breonna Taylor! No louder. Say her name! Breonna Taylor! Say her name! Breonna Taylor! Say his name! George Floyd! A little bit louder so all of Marina can be waking up. Say his name! George Floyd! 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 Say her name! Breonna Taylor! 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 This is what democracy looks like! 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 Show me how democracy looks like! This is how democracy looks like! Show me what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police! All right, y'all, give yourselves a round of applause since y'all are doing a fantastic job. Yeah! Happy for the community. All right, all right. Hey, you saw how that guy in the truck tried to hit us, right? Yeah. That's the anger. That's what we're fighting against. People like that who are so ignorant and so hateful, and they'll rather hit their own community members. Car coming.
Thank you. Wes, can you stop that truck? At least he was respectful about it. Like, he slowed down. I'm like right in front of Olsen. Like, what the hell? My niece and nephew.
That was nice. Whose streets are they? Our streets. Whose streets are they? Our streets. Whose streets are they? Our streets. That guy that was trying to hit us. Just imagine how people like Martin Luther King felt during the civil rights when they were getting watered down in holes, beaten down, dogs chewed on their little children. That little example is just a small example of how people of color have been treated throughout history. Recently, that individual could be a lawyer, a doctor, a police officer. That's the people that we're
professional.
Right now. That type of person. This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. This racist system has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. This racist system has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. This racist system has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. This racist system has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. This racist system has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. This racist system has got to go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. This racist system has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. This racist system has got to go. Hey, hey.
13-year-old boy, a 13-year-old boy was murdered a couple days ago. A 13-year-old boy. If you have children, would you want your 13-year-old boy murdered by a cop, or would you want them to be talked to by a social worker? A 13-year-old boy, Marina, was murdered. His hand was up. His hand was up. He was running away because he was scared. He was afraid. A 20-year-old man was killed because a cop thought she had a taser in her hand instead of a gun.
Also a child. Yep.
Hands up!
Don't shoot.
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 Watch for the cars, watch for the cars. Some of these cars out here, they're respectful, some of them respectful, some of them might not be.
Yep.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
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 No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No racist!
Police.
No racist!
Police.
Take it to the streets, defund the police, no justice!
No peace.
We need social workers, we need counselors, we need therapists. We do not need men with guns.
Amen.
We do not need men with guns in streets shooting our innocent, shooting our old, young, those who need other services like housing, mental health, addiction services. We need help, and law enforcement cannot give it. There's 6 months of training. I'm actually former, I studied criminal justice and undergrad, and I was a corrections officer for 5 years. I know that the system is broken. The system is trying to incarcerate you. It's not trying to rehabilitate you.
How do you spell murder? C-O-D. How do you spell murder?
C-O-D.
How do you spell murder?
C-O-D.
How do you spell murder?
C-O-D.
How do you spell murder?
C-O-P.
How do you spell murder?
C-O-P.
No cops. No KKK. No fascist USA. No cops.
No KKK, no fascist USA.
No cops.
No KKK, no fascist USA.
No cops.
No KKK, no fascist USA.
No cops.
No KKK, no fascist USA.
No cops.
No KKK, no fascist USA. I like that, Nick. I like that. How do you spell murder again? C-O-P. How do you spell murder again? C-O-P. You didn't teach me that.
Hey, how you say MPD or SPD? Lots of different ways to spell it.
Exactly.
Hey, who would like to take this and say some words? Who has some chance that they know would like to say them? If you're afraid, hey, this is the best time to jump out of that shell.
That's right. Last time I grabbed the mic, I was like, that's my voice. I tuned in it totally. Oh my gosh, I know.
You gotta be strong when you say it, though. Let's go. You got it.
Fourth grade? Like, where's the like we're like little like kids again.
No justice, no peace. No
justice,
no racist police.
No racist police.
No justice, no peace. No
Racist police. We don't know.
Slow it down a little bit, folks.
We're
stronger together than we are apart. We're stronger together than we are apart.
That's right. Friends at the front, let's let the back catch up. Oh yeah.
Good afternoon, Marina. Whose streets are they? 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 No justice. It's interesting that I haven't seen one cop yet. I wonder what they're doing with the taxpayers.
Traffic control.
You know, since you got a whole bunch of people about to walk in the middle of the road, and they know about it. I talked to the chief myself personally. She actually contacted me. So I'm really interested in how this is going to go.
He lives in Missouri, but still, he's like, oh, if it's happening there, it might happen here too. Exactly.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
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 Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
For some reason, people are uncomfortable with saying that for some reason. Black lives matter.
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 Hello, Marina. How are you doing? Good afternoon, Marina.
Wakey, wakey.
Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system has got to go. Hey, hey.
Ho, ho. This racist system has got to go.
Hey, hey.
Ho, ho. This racist system has got to go.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
All right, we're going to start talking about Adam Toledo now, 13-year-old that was murdered. Say his name. Adam Toledo. Say his name.
Adam Toledo.
Say his name.
Adam Toledo.
Say his name.
Adam Toledo.
Say his name.
Adam Toledo.
Say her name. Breonna.
Taylor.
Say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
Say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
Say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
All right, now we're going to start talking about Deontay Wright. Say his name.
Deontay Wright.
Say his name.
Deontay Wright.
Say his name.
Deontay Wright.
Say his name.
You're right, you're right, Nathaniel.
Your left.
You know what's your name, bro?
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
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 Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Marina is an example of how it should be. In Minneapolis, people are getting gassed, beaten, and hurt just for protesting and marching. That if you show violence, violence will come. If you show peace and reconciliation, you'll get otherwise. Peace will come. Yes, I and other people have had to talk to city officials and get to know the community I live in. But people like Mr. River, places like that. I remember a cop almost went to pull me over. That's right. Older people who are marching and protesting. There's differences in different places, And yes, we have a peaceful protest and march here. I hope the news shows that it's peaceful and we're not dangerous and we're not hurting anyone. But other places, people are doing the same thing and getting defamed. Whose streets are they?
Our streets!
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 No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No racist!
Police!
No racist!
Police!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
When I say his name, we say Deontay Wright. When I say his name, you say George Floyd. Let's go. Say his name.
Deontay Wright.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
Deontay Wright.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
Deontay Wright.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
I haven't seen one cop yet. I guess they took the day off.
They did. They all did.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
Marina police chief asked me, called me 50 times saying, hey, we'll be there. We don't want you to go out without us.
We should have just turned the camera off this time.
Yeah, we're going to shut down traffic. Don't worry about that. I didn't see anything happen. But you know what did happen? They came out to arrested when we were over there. When they had us over class. By the way, the police chief asked them to come today at a certain time. So that shows you their protest. You know, they with us, on camera, Facebook.
But it's not possible where I am.
Exactly.
Like shit.
Exactly.
Shit gotta change.
And that's it. It's like, okay, do what you gotta do. I'm not worried about that,
Whose streets are they? Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No racist. Let's stay on one side right now. Let the cars come around. We're waiting for you, Queen. We're waiting for you. Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
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 No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
All right, once we start going towards on the road, we gotta stick together, have a close knit group, and stay in one lane. Let's not get in two lanes if we can.
Oh, that was 400 years ago. Oh, that was 2 weeks ago. Oh, that was but it's still happening now. So why do I have to get over it?
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
Black lives matter.
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 Asian 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 lives matter.
Brown lives matter.
Brown lives matter.
Brown lives matter.
Brown lives matter.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
No fascists, no KKK, no racists.
USA, no rape, no cops, no KKK, no fascist USA, no cops.
No KKK, no fascist USA.
No cops, no KKK, no fascist USA. No cops, no KKK, no fascist USA. No cops,
No KKK, no fascist USA.
no cops,
No KKK, no fascist USA.
no cops,
No KKK, no fascist USA.
no cops. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Silence is violence.
Silence is violence.
Silence is violence. Silence is
violence.
Silence is
violence.
Silence is
violence.
Silence is
Violence.
Silence is
Violence.
silence. Hate breeds hate.
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 Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
I know you guys are looking tired. Now, come on now. I know COVID-19 has got you. I got you. I got you. We almost there.
Oh, this is a pumpkin for like mortars and all those places.
Oh yeah, my family.
When I say money for schools, you say not the police.
They don't want black folks in there.
Money for schools, not the police.
It's so sad. This
Money for housing.
Not the police.
Money for schools.
Not the police.
Money for housing.
Not the police.
Money for schools.
Not the police.
Money for housing.
Not the police.
Money for schools.
Not the police.
Money for housing.
Not the police.
Money for schools.
Not the police.
Money for housing.
Not the police.
Money for schools. Money for housing. When black lives are under attack, what do we do? When black lives are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When black youth are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When black youth are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When black lives are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When black youths are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
All right, round of applause.
Thank you. When black lives are under attack, what do we do? When black lives are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Brown lives are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Brown lives are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When youth are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
And a 13-year-old died. When youth die, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When black lives are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what America looks like.
This is what America looks like.
Show me what solidarity looks like.
This is what solidarity looks like.
Show me what solidarity looks like.
This is what solidarity looks like.
Shut it down. Response, shut it down.
Amen. That's what I was gonna say.
If we don't get it, shut it down.
Shut it down.
If they don't get it, shut it down.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. Now. Justice.
Shut it down.
Shut
it down.
Justice.
Now. Justice. Now. Shut it down. Shut it down.
Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud. Say it loud. Say it loud.
Whose streets are they? Whose streets are they? Whose streets are they? Whose streets are they? Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
We're gonna stop right there. We shut the city down.
Right.
We're gonna stop right here. Wait for everybody.
Take a knee, take a knee. Take a knee.
Oh, not in the intersection. Okay.
I want you to get your breath too. We do this because this is symbolic. This is something that our forefathers, the people we stand on the backs of, have done. We've negotiated. We're demonstrating and resisting. We've negotiated. They know what we want. We're tired of systemic racism. We're tired of seeing our black, brown, LGBTQ, everybody killed on Fox 6, CNN, NPR, Reuters. It doesn't matter what you watch. We're tired of seeing people killed. We pay law enforcement officers 6 figures in California. They make an average of $85,000 to serve and protect. They should not kill us. So when I say Black Lives Matter,
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter,
Black Lives Matter.
raise your hand if you make 85, 95, 100. No, raise your hand if you make $100,000 right now. It's okay if you do. That's not if you know. I'm saying
We broke.
law enforcement officers make $100,000. Where are they at right now? Where are they at? Do you see them?
Not here.
They must be getting a coffee and donuts right now. Must be a lunch break, a very long lunch break. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
All right, guys, stand up, stand up. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No racist.
Police.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
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 Asian lives matter.
Asian lives matter.
Asian lives matter.
Asian lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
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 No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
Whose?
Black lives matter. Say it with me.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Asian lives matter.
Asian lives matter.
Asian lives matter.
Asian lives matter.
Trans lives matter.
Trans lives matter.
Trans lives matter.
Trans lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
All lives can't matter till what?
Black Lives Matter.
All lives can't matter till what?
Black lives matter.
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 Say it louder. Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
When, now, always, forever, Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter. Whose streets are they? 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 Show me
justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No 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 justice.
Police.
No racist.
Police.
Good job, guys. Good job. We're almost there. Good job. Thank you for marching for freedom. Thank you for marching at the fight against systemic racism.
Check it out. A riot is.
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
Hello, Marina. Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
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 Say her name. Say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
Say his name.
Alan
George
Toledo.
Floyd.
Say his name.
Deontay Wright.
Say his name.
Alan
George
Toledo.
Floyd.
Say his name.
Deontay Wright.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
Alan
George
Toledo.
Floyd.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
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 No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
I got one.
2, 4, 6, 8. Stop the violence. Stop the hate.
4, 6, 8. Stop the violence. Stop the hate.
2, 4, 6, 8. Smash police state.
2, 4, 6.
Smash the police state.
Yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8. Stop the violence. Stop the hate. 2, 4, 6, 8. Smash the police state. 2, 4, 6, 8. Stop the violence. Stop the hate. 2, 4, 6, 8. Stop the violence. Stop the hate. 2, 4, 6, 8. Smash the police state. 2, 4, 6, 8. Smash the police state.
How you doing, Marina? Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
We getting a lot of love. We getting a lot of love.
Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Racist cops has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Racist cops has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey.
We're gonna take a right here. That's where.
1, we are the children. 1, we are the children. 2, a little bit louder. 3, we want justice for Black Power.
Justice for Black Power.
1, we are the children.
We are the children.
2, a little bit louder. 3, we want justice for Black Power.
We want justice for Black Power.
1, we are the children.
1, we are the children.
2, a little bit louder. 3, we want justice for Black people. Money for schools. Not the police. Money for housing.
Not the police.
Not the police. Money for schools. Not the police. Money for children.
Not the police.
Not the police.
A little bit louder. A little bit louder now. This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what America looks like.
This is what America looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what America looks like.
This is what America looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Whose streets are they?
Our streets.
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 Black lives matter.
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 Say his name. You say Deontay Wright. Say his name.
Deontay Wright.
Say his name.
Deontay Wright.
Say his name.
Deontay Wright.
Say his name.
Deontay Wright.
Say his name. Say Aaron. Say his name.
Adam Toledo.
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 No justice.
No peace.
No racist police. No justice.
No peace. No racist police.
No justice.
No peace. No racist police.
No justice.
No peace. No racist police.
Repeat after me. Na 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 na.
Na 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 na.
Hey hey hey. We're back.
Here's the new reality. Here's the new reality.
No peace. Take it to the streets and find the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets to find the police. No justice, no peace.
Take it to the streets to find the police. No justice, no peace.
2468. Stop the violence. Stop the hate.
2468. Stop the violence, stop the hate.
2468. Smash the police state.
2468. Smash the police state.
We get up here to the DiMaggio Park.
What?
Love you, brother. Love you. First step is showing up.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives. What? Got this or
No
what?
justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Where the Black Lives Matter versus Nice People are at, we're going to take a photo, a group photo together.
Yay!
So much, folks.
Thanks for the support.
My name's going to be Griffin Lee. It's going to be Griffin, last name Lee, L-E-E. And I'm actually from Salt Lake, California. And from right here, we're actually here for a rally for Devontae Wright and for the lost souls that actually been shot or taken in this very weird site. And during the pandemic, respect to those family members that are out there who went through such things. And my prayers out to you and your guys' families. I would say the main focus here today to tell you guys is that the thing about police is we're all about defunding police, and that's what we're here today. So in order to further get ourselves and for you guys to get the idea of what I'm going to tell you is, for one, for the people that believe in the blue, it's not that the blue is doing something bad, it's the fact that some of them are doing bad and then they're not coming together and trying to fix it. That's the main issue. If you get it and you're sworn on the Bible, on a badge that you're going to protect your people, your community, and you go do the littlest mischievous things that lead up to events like that, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. You have the wrong intent. It's the wrong profession for yourself. And so I feel like that's my issue, is it's addressing that to young individuals of the world in my community, to the adults, to further teach their children better habits when it comes to this. Most definitely for themselves, for their friends and loved ones, how to handle the situation better. I honestly strongly think that as an officer, you should most definitely be able to go to school before you get sworn into office. You for sure should get a psych evaluation, some sort of at least every 6 months. That should be a mandatory thing to see if you get some stable to pursue and to perform the activities as an officer. Because I feel like throughout the line, PTSD is a matter, even if you have been in an active line of gunfire or not, and that's understandable, but going forward, you need to understand that having a badge, you shouldn't feel where you have to be harmed. That's your safety unit, not the badge. Well, I apologize, it is the badge, it's not your utility belt, it's not the gun, it's not the taser, it's the symbol. So that's the most important thing. So when you swear on it, and you break that where you didn't use your symbol to assess the situation, you thought the gun was the best outcome. It was judge, jury, executioner, right there and then. And it shouldn't be like that. You put a child or an adult in a predicament where no one can speak for them other than themselves, but you're allowing the gun to do the talking for you, other than yourself as a human individual. And I think that's an issue and a very big problem in our community that a lot of people aren't ready for or won't come forward to talk about because of being demonized or whatever the case may be, or just people don't want to hear it, or they try to avoid the problem itself. If you keep avoiding it, repeating that problem's going to be recurring. That's why you see so much things now. It's because our community's not doing about it. And I think social media is a really good thing as well, and it does matter. It's that people will go out their ways and take time to post it, but not actively show it. So if you can take the moment, if you could be on your phone to look at Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, if you can sit on your couch watching TV or binge watching a meal, you can for sure take at least 5 to 10 seconds to spread awareness about your people or in your community. At the very minimum, that's the very minimum thing you can do. And I think that stuff really matters, and that's the very start of the gateway. If you're not going to put yourself in a position to show it physically, then at least keep on spreading awareness on the social media network completely out there so it doesn't leave that platform. Because if once it leaves, that's when people forget about it. It's like right when the economy started opening up for a pandemic, it's like all of a sudden, Black Lives Matter was decreasing. It's like that whole system itself wasn't any more of a value because now more people are worried about getting back to their normal life. So I feel like since we were on the lockdown, and that being said, we couldn't do anything, people were frustrated, they feel like they had to take all that energy and put it onto the Black Lives Movement. And so they're either forced upon them or they willingly did it. And shout out to the people who willingly did it because they know those are the people who actually have experienced it, going at their own ways to understand such a thing, or they've been in a situation where it traumatized them, where they've actually understood it in a physical essence. And I feel like you can kind of see the hypocritical standpoint of posting and not activating yourself in the real world. So what you see through a phone glass or a screen, it doesn't reciprocate in the real world unless you apply that energy. You know, if you really want the change, you gotta go get the change. But just posting it is just a little start. It's just a sprinkle. It's just to sprinkle the iceberg. So on top of that, it's just simply not enough. It's got to be a full cake icing. It's got to be the cake. The icing's got to be on there. The whole sugar, the presentation, how you present the issue to the world. It's all like that. It's like a 1-course meal, 5-star. It can't be less than perfect. It's got to be perfect. We can't accept nothing less than it. It's got to be exactly what we want it to be. And the community really needs to understand that we're not taking nothing less and nothing more than what we deserve. Plain and simple, that's what we need to keep on moving forward. And again, it really is like the attending issue is Black Lives Matter, but we got to really look further beyond that and really normalize the fact that we need to say all lives matter, because it's the simple words that have the small words that have the biggest impact, right? So yes, Black lives do matter. My brown, Hispanic woman, Black, etc., whatever you want to identify, it does matter. But normalizing our lives, because if you focus on just one individuality, when it is the bigger issue, we forget about everyone else's aspect of life too. We're taking everything we got to fix something, but we're not everyone's on board, and they expect us to have the same thing for them. So it's like if I ever see anyone that doesn't share the same color as me, or doesn't identify the same sexual orientation, etc., but I know you still got me and you still respect it no matter where you're coming from, then I'm going to tip my hat to you no matter what. I'm going to be there for you, big and big, no matter if it's blood or not. At the end of the day, I know that I don't have to look at you in the eyes and wonder if you're fake or anything I say or do is going to trigger you to an extent where you feel like you got to be racist or you have to be pushing in any form of way. And I do have big hopes that us as people, we're always adaptive, and that's the one thing about us, where we have non-stop change. We have a hunger for non-stop change, but the fact is there's individuals out there who are hindering that value. They're hindering that mentality. And I think right when you sneak them out, it's when you actually find your true self, your powerful self spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And once you see that, that's when manifestation becomes a big thing. You can't just talk about Black Lives Matter being a big thing or anyone matter without implying the self-action, right? Go out, be about it. Normalize it at work. Talk about it to your coworkers and family. Ask them about them, like, Mom, how do you feel when you go to work? Do you feel like you're being targeted in any form of way? That needs to be a normal thing, because those are like body emotions you're going to keep up to yourself and be like, okay, like, what did I do wrong, you know? It could have been a simple argument of some sort, and now you're sitting in a predicament of self-blame, self-doubt or something, and you're wondering, was it me? Was it a personal thing I said? Was it a racial issue? Was it a religion thing? You know? Things like that matter. So to those individuals, and unfortunately, once you eliminate that factor, you just see a person, and you see the beauty. If you can look past color, past religion, you just see the person. You're just looking at life, happiness, and what you see on the outside, and genuality and compassion. So moving forward is, you got to really eliminate all hate in your heart to really live a better life. And I can say that personally, because I've always had a traumatizing childhood, and thank God I had a strong, independent woman, happily family, as a mother, brother and sisters that really cared, community, friends in my life that have actively reminded me and non-stop of what we can do as a Black man and as a man in general, or as a person of the community, you know, just to find a better understanding that everyone here has value. Like, you mean something, you know what I mean? You just didn't come into this world and just not have a reason for it, you know? Like, there's love, you're created from love, you're given love, you're taught love, and now you need to reciprocate that energy throughout your whole entire life. Because right when you lose that aspect, you're going to be upset. You're going to be questioning yourself on why am I not happy? It's because you have that hate built up in your heart. And if once you eliminate that fact, you're truly free. You can manifest anything you want, come into your way, anything comes to your dreams. Like I said, for this instance, equality, you know, the end of racism, you got to believe it more than you're saying it. You got to be able to convince yourself before even convincing someone else. And if you don't believe in yourself, then it's not something worth achieving. It's not something worth going for, right? That's the reason why we here, or every of these events come together, is because we believe in something further than that. Not just to stop a period or anything. We want a little battle for a bigger cause of good, right? And it's going to be a continuous battle until we actually get that war-fulfilling victory. And I told us we're going to do our best to be positive out there as much as possible to the fullest extent, but we need people to really believe in that too. To just believe in my words when I do hear it and understand it. It all starts from you. In the heart, the manifestation level has to be at 100%. Don't let nobody else not give you 100% energy to match it. You should be meeting a twin flame every time you meet someone new. It should be like connecting to a new soulmate. That type of level mentality, you'll never have hate, no racism, etc. in your heart. That's the type where you're unbeatable, you're unbroken, if you can have that mindset.
Is there anything really quickly you'd like to add that you think I've missed? Just real quick.
I would like to say for the young adults in the community all around the area is to stay calm, accept the situation properly. You need to look up your rights and really identify yourself with how to protect yourself in your vehicle. And I feel like that will take you guys a long way for your safety. And if that isn't the case itself, then you for sure need to make sure your family members, friends have your contact information. Make sure you tell them everywhere you're going. I know it's a lot, but the more better your own closer people know where you're at, the safer you have a better chance of anything were to happen when you can come back. And I would say my prayers out to the family for the whole pandemic itself. And respectfully, hope you guys are all doing good. And shout out to my family and the whole Marina County team guys. Thank you.